welcome back to your favorite movie review channel. You know it is Man Cinema Reviews with its ever so lovely host. Hey, that's me, Peter Man. What's up, y'all? Yeah, we're gonna do this fairly quickly. This is a movie roundup. I've been on vacation. I've also dealt with my daughter's birthday party. It's all been crazy and exciting around these parts. But now I'm here to the viewers, you subscribers out there, and just giving you a roundup of the films that I've seen recently. Now we're gonna go do this in order from films that I like the most to least. So here are the titles in no particular order, just to throw you off a little bit. We have the film Kinds of Kindness, we have the film Twisters, we have the film Oddity, and we also have the film Longlegs. So before we get into it, let's go ahead and just quickly go over some stuff, and that is to press like, subscribe, and be sure to notify you, the subscribers, by pressing the notification bell so you stay in tune to the exploration of everything cinema here on Man Cinema Reviews. As always, I want to thank you for choosing Man Cinema Reviews. So this film, Longlegs, details FBI agent Lee Harker, assigned to an unsolved serial killer case that takes an unexpected turn, revealing evidence of the occult. Harker discovers a personal connection to the killer and must stop him before he strikes again. Now this is directed by Osgood Perkins, or as we're calling him, Oz for short. You know, we're really buddies with him. But this is a director that you should be familiar with just by the name, because he is related to actor Anthony Perkins, who played in Psycho. So he is no stranger to the horror genre. In fact, he has a couple of films under his belt, The Black Coat's Daughter and Gretel and Hansel. And these are films I haven't seen, but off the strength of Longlegs, I'm definitely going to check out. And this stars Micah Monroe as Lee Harker, who is the FBI agent assigned to the case. And I have to say that Micah Monroe is just dead ringer for Clarice Starling in The Silence of the Lambs. So I think with that comparison, the two films are definitely being paralleled, and maybe this is the new generation's Silence of the Lambs, which is very big shoes to fill. But I definitely can see the parallel, and I think Oz Perkins really is a director that is bubbling under the surface, and I think someone that we have to pay attention to, because I was definitely enamored, I was enthralled. A lot of people that have seen this film, whether you liked it, you hate it, you loved it, you definitely will take away a great opening scene, as well as a just phenom of an end for the film. And a lot of misconception is that things are a lot to be left desired in the second act, the middle chunk of the film. But I'm here to tell you that I'm a part of the crowd that I think that was just enthralled from the beginning, middle, and end because of the performances. Micah Monroe really is a phenom as Lee Harker. She's cold, she's calculated, she's precise. She's definitely not in tune with the human condition, so she just doesn't get social cues well. But I like the fact that she played very alien-like and, you know, like I said, cold, calculated, and precise. She knows things that other FBI agents in the field don't know, and she has kind of this connection to the serial killer that she's after. And Blair Underwood is the head of the FBI agency that she works for, and I think Blair Underwood also gets the assignment. I think he has played great supporting roles in the past. Every time Blair Underwood pops up in a film, I really do think that he plays his part, and I think he's stellar, to be honest. And this film wouldn't be what it is without Nick Cage playing the titular character Longlegs. Yes, he plays a serial killer. Now, Nick Cage, to varying degrees of success, and missteps. Don't worry, I really think that he is just the glue of this film. I think as the serial killer Longlegs, very sinister, plays it colorfully as he usually does, but I think to varying degrees of success, he just shines. I really think that he's very menacing, he's very sinister, and he's theatrical, he's bombastic, and he's just deranged and goes off the deep end, but to amazing results. I think Longlegs really is not being appreciated right now. I think, there is a lot of people that do like this film, but they have, you know, shortcomings. They have faults to the film. Me, I'm part of the crowd that thinks that this is phenomenal from start, middle, and end. And I will give Longlegs a full-fledged 5-star review. I really think that this is one of my favorite films of the year. I know it's marketed more as a horror film, and maybe that's also a misstep because it's a more traditional thriller that has horror elements, but I think that this film will age like fine wine. Going on to this film called Oddity, which is being played in select theaters. I think this is a film that I wasn't really familiar with, but on vacation, my brother suggested it, and we watched it as a crowd. It's a ghost story. After the brutal murder of her twin sister, Darcy goes after those responsible by using haunted items as her tools for revenge. Now, this film is directed by Damien McCarthy. He's an Irish director, and there's not too many big names, but Carolyn Bracken plays a dual role of Darcy and Danny. So she's playing sisters. In the opening scene, we get introduced to Danny, who is brutally murdered, and we don't see the murder, which is fantastic because we will get to the brutal aftermath of the events that do occur. Darcy is one for the supernatural, and she wants to know who killed her sister after a man is convicted of her murder, but she does not believe that he is responsible, and she uses these old relics. Her family has this shop of haunted relics, and it helps her get to the root cause of what happened that fatal night. So this film is a traditional ghost story. We don't see too much of those, and when we did, they came, fast and furious to think about. Stir of Echoes, The Sixth Sense, and we don't get a lot of those films nowadays, which is kind of a fresh breath of air for me. I think if people can see it, I suggest you seeing it if it is playing near you, because it definitely is creepy. It is a film that gets under your skin and doesn't let go, and it's a film that relies heavily actually on its jump scares. However, films that rely heavily on jump scares don't do it in a crafty way and feel cheap. This film, the scares are well earned, and the jump scares are effective actually. So I think that Damien McCarthy is a director also bubbling under the surface, and I think it's someone that we need to pay attention to because Oddity is a winner. Again, it's playing selected theaters and it's playing near you. I do suggest checking it out. It's not as a horror film, it's not as terrifying as it is being pitched. There are very effective, scary moments, and the film is creepy throughout. But it does get into the supernatural, where Longlegs, it is a little bit absurd and doesn't make sense. With Oddity, it really caters to the story. But again, I did like this movie a fair amount, and I think it's a winner. It's one, again, like we don't see nowadays, films of yesteryear. So with that, I will give Oddity a nearly perfect 4.5 stars. Now I'm gonna go to Yorgos Lanthimos' Kinds of Kindness. Now I know this is an older film, and I tried to review it before I went on vacation, but never did find the time. I want to give it its flowers. I want to give it its just due, and I want to let you know that Yorgos Lanthimos really is just on a winning streak. After Poor Things, Emma Stone is definitely his muse. This is a anthology, if you will, of 3 stories revolving around a man who tries to take control of his own life, a policeman whose wife seems to be a different person, and a woman who searches for someone with a special ability. Now, this is a film that has many stars. Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons are carrying this film, but it also has Willem Dafoe, it also has Margaret Qualley, and I think that all 3 stories are very eccentric, and it gets to Yorgos Lanthimos more just obscure and brash and abrasive, kinky and naughty roots. Not since The Killing of a Sacred Deer do I think that it is the brutality on screen of Lanthimos. The last 2 films that he had were more commercial, with The Favorite and Poor Things, but now he's getting back to his, nitty gritty roots, and it's a film that I'm surprised lives on American cinemas, just being shown in major movie chains. It didn't last long, and I definitely see why. It's very polarizing. You either hate it or love it, or somewhere in between, and that's kind of where I'm at. I do recognize Yorgos Lanthimos' style, and his brashness doesn't really turn me off. In fact, I do embrace it. It's not my favorite from Lanthimos, but it's one that I think is audacious, and I think it's brave that he goes for it after getting back-to-back hits. He's going back to what he's accustomed to, and I can fault him for that. But it's just, again, not my favorite of his films, but I do think that Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone are just electrifying on screen, and he's already got another film coming 2025, Begonia, which also stars Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. So there you have it. I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think he's got a formula, and I think he's sticking to it. I think this is very creative, it's audacious, and it's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's what I like most about it. Yorgos Lanthimos' Kinds of Kindness will get a strong 4-star review. Now going on to Twisters. Haunted by a devastating encounter with a tornado, Kate Cooper gets lured back to the open plains by her friend Javi to test groundbreaking new tracking system. She soon crosses paths with Taylor Owens, a charming but reckless social media superstar who thrives on posting his storm-chasing adventures. This film is John DeBont's original Twister, in 96, I believe. And I don't think that this film has the charm or pizzazz that film had. It was kind of a film ahead of its time as far as special effects are concerned. And now that we have these special effects that we do have today, you would think that bigger is better. However, unfortunately, I didn't really care for this latest iteration of Twister. Glenn Powell is a great actor that I think is in his pocket, and I thought that once he was on screen, everything was going to be okay. We're going to rest on his laurels, just being a dynamo, a guy that's very charming and very charismatic. However, just the screenplay really just bogs it down and is very cheesy and comes off almost cliche-ish, and is that even a word, cliche? Very just corny at times, I think Anthony Ramos is a actor that I was initially interested in his film In the Heights. However, everything that I've seen that came after, I just haven't been a fan of his. Daisy, Edgar Jones, is someone that I do like. I thought she was great and fresh. She did her thing in Where the Crawdads Sing. I don't think that this was a film that served her well. I think everybody is trying their hardest, but the material itself is very lacking, to say the least. And I think that Helen Hunt is alive and well. I really thought that they should have worked her into the story. The only thing that connects the two films is the device Dorothy that they do use for measuring of the tornadoes. However, this film just doesn't cut it. I think there's a lot left to be desired in this film, and I think the special effects are clearly on display here. But that's about it. That's very surface level. I really don't care, as long as I got a good plot and characters that I could be sympathetic, root for. There's none of that here, to be honest. This film doesn't have the originality. It doesn't have the charm of the first film. And I've seen it recently, and it works for me. But this film, Twisters, just because it's plural doesn't make it better. Glenn Powell really is just cruising, and he's kind of collecting a paycheck to me in this film. And this film is just the definition of lacking for me. I was thoroughly disappointed with this film. I know a lot of people say that this is a crowd pleaser, it's your, schlocky popcorn flick. I wish I could at least enjoy it for being what it is. However, I don't. And I really do think that this is one of the disappointing films to me of this year. It's not a total wash, but there's really not much, to chew on. It's very lacking to me, and I would just give Twisters a resounding 1-star review. I was just thoroughly disappointed. I thought I could get something out of it. The only thing I got out of it is a collectible cup and bucket for my popcorn. But I guess I'm just gonna have to enjoy that at home. I hope you enjoy my reviews at home. Please keep those subscriptions numbers up. Press like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing out there.